Assalamualaikum. We are from Group 10. Want to make a presentation for our group assignment SMP 15603, Principles of Business Analytics. This group consists of 3 members. The first is myself, Nur Shazwani binti Mansur. The second member is Nur Syahada Shifa binti Syabuddin. And the third member is Nur Wani binti Maharis. This group assignment use theory unified of acceptance and use of technology, which is Utaut. Now let's move to the introduction part. The theory that we choose in doing this report is unified theory of acceptance and use of technology, which we call Utaut. It's a model that explains why users accept and use technology. The demographic that we use in doing this report is age, race, gender, educational level, and technology proficiency. In doing this report, there are 3 independent variables, which we call IV. The first one is performance expectancy. The second one is effort expectancy, and the last one is social influence. The dependent variable, which we call DV, in this report is acceptance of e-learning platform among UNIMED students. This report aims to investigate the factors that influencing the acceptance of e-learning platform among the UNIMED students. The next part is methodology. The questionnaire consisted of items which are 4 demographics representing the 3 independent variables, which is effort expectancy, performance expectancy, and social influence. The dependent variable for this report is acceptance of e-learning platform among the UNIMED students. Each of the items was measured by 5-point Likert scale, ranging from strongly disagree to strongly agree. The survey, the made by form, targeted 60 of university students. Let's move to the 3.0, the standard of deviation, mean at maximum value, and also including the t-test. The 3.1, descriptive variable dv1, dv2, dv3, and dv4. Dependent variable, each variable has a minimum value of 1.00 and maximum of 5.00. dv4 having the highest mean at 3.74, dv3 at 3.54, dv2 3.43, and dv1 3.33. dv1 has a skewness of 0.194. dv4 exhibit a more pronounced negative skewness of negative 0.849. This descriptive statistic highlighting standard tendencies, variability, and distributions that can inform future analysis and interpretations that can be researched for the context. The next is descriptive variable for PE1, PE2, PE3, and PE4. Each variable has a minimum score at 1.00 and maximum score 5.00. PE1 achieving the highest mean, which is 3.44, closely followed by PE3 3.40, PE2 3.37, and PE4 3.33. The standard deviation range from approximately 0.74 to 0.82. The last one is descriptive variable SI1, SI2, SI3, and SI4. Each variable has minimum score 1.00 and maximum score 5.00. SI1 recording the highest mean at 3.38, followed by SI3 3.37, SI4 3.25, and SI2 3.23. The standard deviation range approximately 0.71 to 0.87. The skewness values SI1 at negative 0.522, at SI2 negative 0.218, SI3 negative 0.383, and SI4 at negative 0.508.
4.0 is the normal test, Pearson correlation, and Cronbach's alpha. The correlation analysis, the adoption of e-learning platform among UNIMED students, alongside performance expectancy, social influence, and effort expectancy reveals important relationship among these variables. Meanwhile, the Pearson correlation coefficient, PE, shows a strong correlation of 0.653, and SI has a moderate correlation of 0.573. Meanwhile, EE presents a strong correlation of 0.631. All correlations are statistically significant with p-value less than 0.00. The correlation between PR, PE, and SI is strong at 0.713. At this page, there are several data about Cronbach's alpha. They include about item total statistic, scale statistic, case processing summary, and reliability statistic that show about social influence and performance expectancy. 5.0 is regression coefficient and R-square. Based on the data, the mean score for the adoption of e-learning platform stands at 3.50. Performance expectancy have a mean score of 3.39 with a standard deviation of 0.62837. Meanwhile, social influence has a mean score of 3.30 and a lower standard deviation of 0.52281. And the last one is effort expectancy, score slightly higher with a mean of 3.41 and a standard deviation of 0.5792. Yes, based on the model summary data, the multiple correlation coefficient is 0.712. The R-square value of 0.507 indicate that the variance in the adoption of e-learning platform can be explained by the combined effect of EE, SI, and PE. The adjusted R-square value of 0.481 accounts for number of predicted in the model. The standard error of the estimate is 0.48666, and the change statistic real a significant F change value of 19.528 with a corresponding p-value of less than 0.001. Meanwhile, Watson's statistic is 1.71. And based on ANOVA data, the regression model explained a total sum of square of 3.875 with 3 degrees of freedom, resulting in a mean square of 4.625. The F statistic is calculated at 19.528 with a corresponding p-value of less than 0.001. The residual sum of square is 13.500 with 57 degree of freedom, yielding a mean square of 0.237. Based on coefficient data, it showed that the constant term is 0.359, suggesting that when all predators are at zero, the baseline adoption level is relatively low. Performance expectation has an unstandardized coefficient of 0.352. The adoption of e-learning platform increased by approximately of 0.352 units. This relationship is statistically significant with a p-value of 0.021. Meanwhile, the effort expectancy also showed a significant positive effect with an unstandardized coefficient of 0.380 and a p-value of 0.013. And the last one is social influence and a standardized coefficient of 0.198, but this relationship is not statistically significant. The standardized coefficient reveals the relative strength of each predator, with PE and EE both showing substantial effect of 0.327 and 0.326 respectively, while SI has a lower standardized coefficient of 0.153. All tolerance values are above 0.1 and varying inflation factor are below. 6.0 is multicollinearity. The data has showed the collinearity diagnosis. The diagnosis include eigenvalue and condition indicate that have assessed the degree of multicollinearity present in the model. The first dimension shows an eigenvalue of 3.964 with a condition index of 1.000. The second dimension has a much lower eigenvalue of 0.017 and a condition index of 15.141. The variance proportion which is 0.79 for PE and 0.21 for SI. The third dimension presents an eigenvalue of 0.011 and a higher condition index of 18.637. The variance proportion indicating a stronger association between SI state for 0.28 and EE for 0.86. The fourth dimension has an eigenvalue of 0.007 and a condition index of 23.278. And the last one is the proportion of variance attributed to PE 0.72 and SI 0.72. Based on residual statistics, it showed that the predicted values range from a minimum of 1.2885 to a maximum of 4.5301 with a mean predicted value of 3.5000. The standard deviation of the predicted value is 0.48089. The residuals, which represent the difference between observed and predicted values, range from a minimum of negative 0.86183 to a maximum of 1.79629 with a mean residual of 0.00000. The standard deviation of the residual is 0.47434, and the standardized predicted value range from negative 4.599 to 2.142 with a mean of 0.000 and a standard deviation of 1.000. Standardized residual varying from negative 1.771 to 3.691 with a mean of 0.000 and a standard deviation of 0.975, further confirming that the residual normally distributed around zero. Lastly, based on the histogram, the mean of the residual is close to zero. The mean is 2.43 E negative 16 with a standard deviation of 0.975. The presence of a normal distribution implies that the regression model satisfies the assumption of normally distributed residual, which is crucial for the validity of parametric statistical analysis. The normal p plot further confirms this normality as most data points align closely with there are no reference line indicating no major deviation.
7.0 Hypothesis testing. First, performance expectancy. Non-hypothesis, performance expectancy has no significant effect on the acceptance of e-learning platform among Unimed students. This is because the amount of p for the value equal to 0.031, which is less 0.05. For alternative hypothesis, performance expectancies has a significant positive effect on the acceptance of e-learning platform among Unimed students. Second, effort expectancy. Non-hypothesis, effort expectancy has no significant effect on the acceptance of the e-learning platform among Unimed students. This is because the amount of p for the value equal to 0.013, which is less than 0.05. For alternative hypothesis, effort expectancy has a significant positive effect on the acceptance of e-learning platform among Unimed students. Third, social influences. Non-hypothesis, social influences has not significant effect on the acceptance of e-learning platform among Unimed students. This is because the amount of p for the value equal to 0.262, that's less than the 0.05. For alternative hypothesis, social influences has a significant positive effect on the acceptance of e-learning platform among Unimed students. 8.0 Conclusion. By analyzing data collected from 16 respondents, this research implies the importance of performance expectation, effort expectation, and social influence in shaping student behavior intention to adopt online learning platform. This importance provides value implication for extend the e-learning experience by effectively addressing user needs and preference.